Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back.
Glad to have you with us for another Elvis Presley reaction. We've got a few tracks from Elvis on the channel now, and it's been a great eye-opening experience. I think that so far my favorite one has been If I Can Dream.
Yes, this is very inspirational.
Yeah.
Inspirational one.
Yes, and really powerful message. Great performance, great, the lyrics, all that stuff comprised really, really well. I really enjoyed that one. But we've done a few of them. Is there any other one that you might have liked that we've done?
I think earlier on, one of our first introductions was Poke Salad Annie, and I think I liked that one just because it was he had a lot of fun with the performance, made it a little bit comical as well as high energy. So I think from a performance standpoint, I really enjoyed that. But I think from a vocal display and powerful message, I really liked If I Could Dream.
You like that one as well?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so this one might be a little more powerful as well. It's called In the Ghetto. You guys, I think we're saying that this is maybe more of a deeper meaning song, or something that might be along the same idea of being a powerful message. So interested to check it out, and it's been fun so far. This is I think just on the heels of that '68 comeback special that we did, or that we were talking about, If I Can Dream. So he recorded this just after that. So be cool to see if that's kind of followed on that sound and led to some of this creative inspiration.
Maybe he's feeling super inspired to just continue sending a message.
Yeah, exactly. So you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto, and his mama cries. But if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand. You're gonna be an angry young man someday. And take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Or do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? Well, the world turns, and a hungry little boy with the runny nose plays in the street as the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns, so he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun, he steals a car, he tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries. As a crowd gathers round, an angry young man face down in the street with a gun in his hand in the ghetto. And as the young man dies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born in the ghetto, and his mama cries.
Well, it's an interesting song to kind of put into words, because there's this powerful message, and he's obviously discussing almost like the circle of life in the ghetto, and how really I think painting the picture really well with his lyrics and
storytelling.
I like the breaks in it as well that allow you to kind of take in the message of the lyrics.
Visualize what he's saying.
Yeah, and the stop start, the instrumentation in there, the the inflections and the use of his vocal to really emphasize some of these.
Yeah, I really like the background vocals as well, how they'd come in after him, like in the chorus piece.
Yeah, and it's adding some of that, I think, that gospel feel that we've seen from him a few times.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like he's preaching the gospel in this of a positive message, I feel like. Not a positive message of what he's talking about, a positive message, I think, to try to bring awareness to it.
Like spreading the awareness of the situation of what happens in the ghetto.
Yeah, and, you know, obviously it's, you know, heart-wrenching at the same time that you know that there's young kids, you know, that are going through those situations. And then, like he was saying, that, you know, another child is born that then ends up going through the same thing cycle. And repeating the process. And that's, you know, doesn't make any sense, right? And people shouldn't be going through that. And it's just so ironic because this is, you know, 1970, around there, right?
Yeah.
And
same thing happens
50 years later, it's the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
I think I shouldn't say enjoy. I liked how he like touched on in the beginning, though. He had a piece in his lyrics where he said like, "Are we just so blind that we can't see it, or do we choose to look the other way?" Right? Like you and me, and you know whoever's listening to this. But like touching on the fact that that's why it's never going to change, right? Because people choose to either overlook it intentionally or unintentionally, but they just, because they're not experiencing it themselves, it's this recurring cycle because it's like so far removed from the everyday person that's not in the ghetto, right?
Yeah, it's a powerful line. There's a lot. I think there was a lot of poetic lines in there and lyrics that really drove home the message in a great way, but not to be overlooked. And this is why it's kind of complex and reacting to it, because it's a great song. Mm-hmm. You know, like you were saying, the background vocals. I really loved the guitar mix that he had in there with the electric, it sounded like, and or acoustic, it could have been as well, and the bass, the mix between the two guitars and the layering in there.
Yeah, it sounded really good.
And then, like I said, kind of the, you know, the peaks and valleys of, you know, bringing in some of the instrumentation with his vocal, and then, you know, him adding his, you know, classic vibrato in there too. So, you know, from that standpoint, the song, it was great at the same time. And, you know, that's why it's hard, because it's like, you know, sounds great, but you also know that it's a pretty heavy message,
it's a sadder
right?
Song.
Yeah. And so, you know, as one part I was smiling while we were listening to it, because I was smiling about how it was that gospel feel.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was smiling because I was like, you know, great job, Elvis, really appreciating what you're doing with this message and preaching the gospel, like I said, and doing things the right way. And it's, in my opinion, the reason why I'm smiling is because, you know, I really appreciate when artists do that. Yeah. Because, you know, it's so crazy.
Using their power for good.
Yeah. And so it's crazy to me, though, like, you have Elvis, right? And, you know, he's this artist that now, you know, we look back, way back then, we were just talking about that influence and bringing that message, right? But, like, now there's so many people that have more of a platform than he does or did at the time, right? Because of streaming and social media and everything else, right? And nobody's even coming close to distributing this kind of message, right? In this way, comprising it this way. You know, it's like, it's just a shame that, you know, like I said, 50 years later, it's still the topic of conversation that, you know, is taking place and really hasn't changed. But, you know, kudos to him for, you know, taking on the task of seemingly right after we talked about the If I Can Dream. And I know I've been rambling for a long time, so I'll shut up in a second. You know, just taking on the task of If I Can Dream, I think, you know, taking that to heart. I think it kind of signals what was important to him as an artist, right? Yeah. That he could have just made that for the clout, you know, trying to get the popularity of making that off of the back of the death of Martin Luther King. But, you know, and that's what the haters would say, you know, but clearly, you know, you could have just ended it there, but he chose not to do that.
Yeah, made more songs with a positive message, or like had meaning, right? And I think also
got a mosquito.
No. I think also too I lost my train of thought because the mosquito distracted me. Anyways, but I was just
saying, on the heels of If I Can Dream, he made this song, and you know, it's a point of emphasis for him. Is that stroke your thought any further?
No, I forget now, but it's okay. Right. But overall, I really enjoyed the song. I thought it was really well done, and I think, what I was going to say is that I found that he really captivated like my interest, like the storytelling piece to it. Like I feel like when I was listening to it, I was just like totally zoned in, like visualizing this picture that he was painting. And I think he did a very good job of that.
For sure, I agree. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed our reaction. Sorry for rambling and talking a little bit more than usual in this one for only a 2-minute and 40-second song, but he connected with us. Or Elvis connected with us in this
Yes.
one. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I really am enjoying seeing the diverse catalog that Elvis has, and his range of capabilities. Really emphasizing why he was one of the great artists of all time. So
yeah. And I think it's really nice to see this side of him, because I feel like from what I knew of him prior to the reaction channel, it was a lot more of like the entertainment party,
for sure.
fun-loving side of him. So it's nice to see this too.
For sure, I agree. All right, guys, that's it from us today. Hit that like button, leave us a comment, make sure you subscribe, check out our new stuff, new content that we always got coming, which will include tomorrow. So hopefully we see you then. And other than that, take care.
See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.